Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla. Thanks for stopping by for a visit today. This is my little helper today, Winnie, and she is helping me show you my completed project that I have gotten finished. And so I thought she would be a good model today to help me share the size of the Peep. So this is Winnie. She is an Ashton Drake doll. She's 32 inches tall, and she wears size 3 toddler clothes, and I believe size 10 shoe. Toddler 10 shoe. But she is still wearing her Easter dress. I guess she's gonna wear it for a while. She's still wearing her Easter dress, and so I thought it would kind of be appropriate to bring her in to share the Easter Peep. um, so I finished this Easter Peep, and Winnie, I'm going to take this from you. I just don't want to let go. Okay, so I finished the Easter Peep. I had pulled this out of a whip drawer a couple of weeks ago, and it is made with Red Heart yarn, just regular Red Heart yarn, Super Saver. And this is what the back looks like. At the time when I pulled it out, it was just the two panels. So I had to add the eyes and a little nose and a little mouth on it. And then I started single crocheting the two panels together. I started on the side and, crocheted around. And when I got back over here, then I started stuffing it. I stuffed the ears and then the head, and then I started, single crocheting around till I got about right here or so, and started stuffing the body part. And then, as I could crochet a little bit, I would stuff a little more, crochet, and then until I got it to the point where I just finished stuffing the last little bit in, and then single crocheted it up, tied my beginning tail and my ending tail together, tied them together real tight a couple of times, and threaded my yarn through here to hide it into the project. So I love the way it turned out. It's really cute. I should have finished this up before Easter. Maybe next year for Easter I'll make several of these and set around. I don't know. Who knows? But this is a 3AM Grace Designs project. If you don't know about 3AM Grace Designs, they have wonderful cuddle. They're called cuddle pillows, cuddlers. I don't know. I just call them pillows. Because it does make a cute little pillow or stuffy or something like that, to sit around. But 3AM Grace Designs patterns are very easy to read. They're very easy to understand. They're great patterns. They really are. I've been making her patterns since I learned to crochet, and Donna is very, very helpful. If you need anything, like I haven't needed her with help for a pattern, but there's been other things, like I was shipping something to someone and needed to change the address to that person's address. She was very, very helpful. She always is super nice and very helpful. So I will link 3AM Grace Designs below. So if you want to check them out, you sure can. Their patterns are about $5 a pattern, and they do have sales, especially around holidays. They'll have lots of sales during holidays, Black Friday, just different events that might be going on. She will have different sales. Sometimes she has them 30% off, sometimes 50% off. You can't never tell. But anyway, I do have lots and lots of 3AM Grace Design patterns, and I enjoy making them. They're cute. This one used a 5mm hook and some stuffing. Now, when I went to crochet around it, I did use a 5.5 hook. I don't know why I did that, but I just grabbed it and used it. It didn't matter. But anyway, I love it. I love how it turned out, and I think Winnie was happy to be holding And so that gives you an idea of what, oh, your arms aren't tight now. That gives you a little idea of what it might, the size of it for a kid, right? Like I said, I don't know that Winnie's the size of a 3-year-old. I really don't know. Gosh, I can't even remember my kids at 3. But she does wear a 3 toddler clothes. That's a 3 toddler dress she has on. So gives you a little idea of the size of it and how it might fit up against a toddler child. So I can see a toddler child dragging that around to, take a nap with and stuff like that. So anyway, I appreciate you, Winnie. Don't she look happy? You can't see her face now, but she looks very happy to be my helper today. um, Yesterday, my little friends that live a road over, their 13-year-old brother and sister, Zeke and Evie, came down, and they're just hanging out with me. And Evie had on some scrunchies on her wrist, and so she had one in her hair and she had two on her arm. And so I thought that was cute. And I was asking her about her scrunchies and all. And I said, you could crochet those. And she's like, you can? I was like, yeah, you can. And so I asked her what her favorite color was, and she said gold. And so she found the color that she thought was the closest to gold. This right here, it's kind of a golden yellow. Um, so she found this yarn, and I got a hair tie, a pull, stretchy hair tie out for her, and I showed her how to get started. And actually, I did the single crochets around the ponytail holder. I did that part for her, and then I started and connected it, and then started doing the double crochets just to show her, because she wasn't sure how to do a double crochet. So I did a few of those for her so she could, she's like, okay, I got it. And so then I gave it to her and she started working on it. She didn't get finished with her first row yet. She is using a 5.5 hook, and this is what she's got going so far. So I think that's going to be a cute scrunchie for her. She's going to, when she comes back down, which I don't know when that'll be because they don't come every day, but she'll finish this off. I'm going to show her how to connect that, and then we're going to go another round with that. So, yeah, but it's turning out cute. You can see it's got lots of wave in there already. Lots of wave going on. So I think she'll really like that once it's done. And we do another round, and it's going to be really poofy and puffy and all that kind of stuff, So that is what Evie is working on down at my house. I did text her mom a picture of it and showed her that Evie was making a scrunchie. So her mom does crochet, but she crochets like hats and baby blankets. I don't know. Well, I don't know of anything else she's ever crocheted. Maybe she said she crocheted a bag before. I'm not sure, but she doesn't do like amigurumis or I don't know, little projects like that. She does hats, and she does lots of hats, and she has a friend right now that's going through chemo, and so she has been crocheting her some soft hats, and right now she's working on her a bucket hat with some soft cotton yarn. So that's very sweet. But she loves making her friends some hats, and she makes hats for other people in her family also. And she makes baby blankets. Anytime there's a baby, she knows of a baby being born, she'll start working on a little blanket. And she'll, sometimes when she comes down to visit me, she'll bring her project and work on it a little bit while I'm working on a project, and we just sit and talk about life, our kids, life, stuff like that. But anyway, so Zeke and Evie came down yesterday, and I was showing Evie how to do this. I mean, we sat and talked for a while before I ever, thought about she might want to make a scrunchie. And we sat and talked about just different things going on, what they've been doing. And then Zeke was here also, and he was banging on the piano. He was banging on the piano and chasing the cats around. So he entertained himself while Evie and I worked on the scrunchie that she's making. And so she was doing a really good job, though. Every now and then she would forget to do do three in each stitch. She was only doing two, and I'd, look at it. I'd let her do some, and I'd say, okay, let's look at it and make sure it's going good. And I'd say, well, you skipped here. You only put two. I said, once in a while, that's fine, but you can't do it too many times, or it'll just be flat and not ruffly like that. So we got it fixed up, though. She was acting like she was really enjoying making it. She has taken a little bit of a crochet class at her homeschool co-op classes, but she says she makes up her own stitches. She says she was making a hat, but it turned into a ball. It started closing up on her like a ball, so she just made up her own stitches. I was like, okay. That's fun. But anyway, I really do enjoy those kids coming down visiting with me. It kind of breaks up my day, gives me a little break, and I'm not a break, but a little bit of interaction with someone, and so they're fun. They're hilarious. Now they don't come every day because they homeschool, so they have schoolwork, and their mom makes them get their schoolwork done before they can go out to play or come down here or anything like that, of course. And then they also have activities such as soccer right now, and so they have soccer practice several times a week, and then they have soccer games. So, they don't come every day, but when they do come, I sure do enjoy them. And I always have snacks for them and drinks and stuff. And I always tell them, don't drink more than your mom would allow you to have, because she doesn't buy like sugary stuff much. I mean, I think she does a little bit, but not a whole lot. And there's seven. She has seven kids. So the other day, actually it was Saturday, we were going to go to the art museum. Big Daddy and I had plans to go to the art museum. So, but the art museum didn't open until 12, and so we were just kind of hanging out and having a slow, lazy morning. Well, he come riding up on his bike, and he comes in, and I could tell he was like hot and sweaty. And he come in, and asked what we were doing. I said, well, we're going to go uptown in a little bit, but we were just waiting a while before we went. And then he said, can I get something to drink? And I'm like, sure. But wait, let me back up. When he first came in, we were having like a lazy, lazy morning. So I said, hold on 1 second. I went back there and I told Big Daddy, I said, hey, Zeke's here, because I didn't want him to walk through the house without his pants on or something, right? So I wanted to give him a heads up that Zeke was here. Okay, so then I went back in there, and me and Zeke kind of talked a minute. He said, can I get something to drink? I'm like, sure, you can. So he went in there and got some soda and come back in there with his glass of soda and sat and talked with me for just a minute. A short minute while he drank his glass of soda. And then he said, I'm going to go wash my cup out. And so he went in there and washed his cup out and put it in the drain rack and everything. And then he come back. He said, well, I better get going. And I was like, okay. So he left. So I thought, well, I better go ahead and start getting ready. So I come on in here, back here to get my clothes, to get dressed. And Big Daddy said, is Zeke still here? I said, no, he left. He's like, he wasn't here but a minute. I said, he just came to get something to drink. We've laughed and laughed about that. He just came down to get something to drink. I love it. I love that he feels comfortable enough to do that. I love that he, sees my house as a place he can come to get something to drink. Isn't that funny? But I always keep snacks and drinks and stuff like that for them in there. Their mom does know. Zeke has told her he gets special treats here. And a lot of times, when Big Daddy is on his way home and he stops at like Dollar General or somewhere to pick something up, he picks up sodas for them, like 2 liter bottles of, like orange crush or watermelon drink or, just whatever. He picks up different flavored sodas for them. And we always buy snack cakes for them, special chips and stuff for them, things that I know they like. And so like I said, Zeke has told his mom that he gets special treats here, and she, let me know that Zeke had told her that, or it come up in conversation. And then I told her, I always tell him, don't drink more of that soda than your mom would allow. You could get water also, or sometimes if he's here like a long time, I'll tell him every other glass water because I know his mom don't let him just have soda, soda, soda. And so, I try to be respectful of what she does. And so, anyway, it gets funny. But yeah, she said, yeah, Zeke loves coming down here and getting his special snacks. And so, he likes ramen noodles. He loves ramen noodles. And he says that his mom buys ramen noodles, but she makes a meal out of it and adds things to it and stuff so that they can't just go in there and, get the packages because that takes away from her meal planning or whatever. And, I get it. She's got 7 kids. She's got to plan for this big meal it's 9 of them all together, counting her and her husband. And so, anyway, he eats ramen when he comes down here. And sometimes he eats tuna. We'll buy the little envelope packets of tuna, and he'll eat that. Sometimes he makes a sandwich. Sometimes he just eats it out of the package. Um, he loves things like that his mom doesn't, like buy and keep on hand for just any time. Um, but anyway, so he had said, I asked him the other day which ramen was his favorite, and he said the shrimp. So that's really the reason why Big Daddy and I went to the Asian market a couple of Saturdays ago. We were going to get Zeke ramen, the shrimp ramen. So we bought some ramen there at the Asian market, and then we ended up going to Walmart and buying the big box case thing of the shrimp ramen too, in case he didn't like the one from the um, Asian market. But anyway, um, we love those kids. We love for them to come down and hang out with us and just visit with us. They're so funny and they're helpful to us, like we pay them to do things for us. And it benefits us all. It does. They get a little pay and do a few chores for us, and we get to hang out with them and visit. Anyway, that was a long explanation about those kids, but I love those kids. So Sassy is over here checking out the window. But I guess Winnie and I better get going, huh, Winnie? She's been sitting in the parlor in a chair with her Easter dress on for, I guess, a month now. So I might end up changing her, or I might just leave that on her. It's just a blue dress with like let's see if I can show you a little better. Give you a little peek at Winnie. Um, just a little tulle like skirt, and it has some sparkles in it. But let's see if you can see Winnie's face a little bit better. She is big, and she is kind of hard to handle. She has on some bloomers, and then she has on pink shoes, and they have, I can get it where you can see. They have some little flowers and stuff on her little pink shoes with her socks. Oh, there we go. But anyway, she's really cute. Her and Tallulah. Tallulah is my other tall doll. So they hang out in the living room, sitting in a chair. Um, anyway, can you stand up there, Winnie? Alright guys, I'm gonna let y'all get going for sure this time, and I'm gonna go do some other things I need to do. Bye friends. See you all in the next video.